welcome everybody here today. Good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to the first session of Cognito. So, before we get into our session, let's get to know a bit more about what actually Cognito is and what we are going to be doing today and what we are trying to accomplish. So, basically, Cognito is an idea by a few students of IGDTUW. We work on a few sustainability goals set up by the UN. I hope everyone here knows what the UN is. So the UN every year, not every year, but they have set a certain amount of goals to be followed by the countries for a more sustainable approach towards development. Now, what sustainable basically means, that is, achieving what we want to achieve without hampering the growth of the future generation or without causing any chaos for the future generations. The main goals that we as Cognito will be focusing on are the SDGs 8 and the SDGs 9, which stand for decent work and economic growth and industry innovation and infrastructure. So that is basically what we are trying to accomplish more sustainably. So yeah, that is all about Cognito. Not more about the sustainability part of stuff. Now let's more about who today's speaker for us is. Uh, so today's speaker is our fourth year senior CSE student at IGDTUW. She is one of the first seniors I actually interacted with. I don't think Anushka remembers this, but I interacted with her when she was a core member of Instinct, and she also gave me one con as part of this Instinct competition, and I still use it to this day. It is extremely cherished. She is an extremely supportive senior, to be very honest, and she has been involved in various activities around our college. And that is not the only accomplishment she has. The biggest accomplishment, I would, not the biggest, but to be honest, one of the most impressive accomplishments is she interned at Adobe last year, and she will also be joining Adobe as a member of technical staff at the end of her graduation. So I'm going to stop talking about our very amazing speaker for today, and all over to you, Anushka.
Okay, so firstly, thank you so much, Shruti, for inviting me to this session and even talking about me so much. I would just correct a small thing that you said. So I interned at Adobe this summer, which was back in July, like June, July 2021. And yeah, I'll be joining them back as an intern in January. Like that would be a 6-month internship. And then furthermore, I'll be joining them as a full time in August. So that was the entire thing. And, the team Cognito has been doing great stuff. Like they've just started. I know this is the first session, but yeah, there's amazing stuff which is aligned. And so that's about it. So I remember that, I asked a lot of you to write your EOs in the chat box. So that was just to know about what kind of audience do we have. Akshata. Shruti, can I share my screen? Like I have.
Yeah, sure. One sec. Akshara, can you stop sharing the screen?
Yeah, sure. I'll stop.
Okay, so like today's session was more of road to corporate. So there are tons of things aligned when we talk about going to corporate. And if I talk about college students, so there are actually a lot of things which are on the way. So the very first thing, we all are engineers, and like to be engineers, we are enrolled into engineering courses. So getting into corporate is something that most of the people do. There is very less percentage of people who go for masters, higher studies, or try to change their career paths at a later stage. So corporate is definitely a goal for majority of people, and I'm guessing since you all are here, you definitely have this goal of getting into corporate after you graduate. So before I start, I would just like to give a brief introduction of myself. Although Shruti has talked a lot about me and what I'll be doing, so that was about my career part, that okay, I interned at Adobe and I'll be joining back Adobe. But another thing about me is that I have been a part of a lot of communities. Now these were both technical as well as non-tech community, and again, these are communities within the college and outside. So that is it. And a great thing about me is that I love reading, and my favorite you know what do you call that book genre is self-help book. So that's a bit about me. Um, let's get started. So, see, I just mentioned that we all are engineers, right? Like to be engineers. So, the very first thing, the whole thing that engineers work upon is technology. So, the road to corporate cannot be is incomplete without acing tech. So, a very crucial thing is acing tech. Now, acing tech, it covers a lot of things. If you've seen, like being in college, you have a lot of subjects. You have subjects like if I talk about computer science subjects, so you have subjects like data structures, you have DBMS, you have OOPS, etc. And apart from the college curriculum, there are technologies like web dev technology, web development, Android development, machine learning, etc. Now, is it necessary for, okay, before I go with this, again, I need you all to interact. Write in the chat box, write your favorite tech stack in your chat, in the chat. Come on, I need answers quickly. Okay. It could be anything. You can mention a particular language that you like, or you can even mention a particular domain that you like someone wrote machine learning. Although machine learning is really vast, but okay. Who else? Okay, good. So I see like people have this clarity, or have this thing that okay, I see a lot of Mern people who like Mern. Okay, there's someone who likes Java too. Good. So okay, now acing tech. Now there are three main steps that I have followed in my college life, and this is the step which works for a lot of people. So firstly, find which tech stack you love the most. Now again, coding is a very vast field. You have a lot of languages where you can code, like using which you can code or solve problems, and you even have a lot of domains. So explore coding languages and their frameworks and find what you love the most. I see a lot of people have already, done this step. But if you haven't, go ahead, explore different things. Exploring is the best way of knowing yourself. You can't just go that, okay, everyone is doing it, everyone is learning Java. Okay, I'll also go ahead and learn Java. Don't do that. Although a lot of people do this thing that, okay, they follow what maximum people do. But I would recommend that, go ahead, explore languages, find what you love the most, and then go ahead. It might happen that, okay, your college curriculum wants you to work on a particular language that you do not really like. It's okay. Learn both the things. But then, okay, if when you do something what you love, you really enjoy the entire process. And then learning becomes really fun. So I would say find what you love the most and continue doing that. And alongside, you can go ahead, you can go on doing things which you are supposed to do. Like obviously, you can say that okay, I like Java, and let's say your college wants you to code in C++. You're not going to say that okay, I like Java, so I won't do your subject. So in this case, do what your college wants you to do, but on a side by do have this liking that okay, I like Java, so I'm gonna work on projects related to Java, or I'm going to take my knowledge of Java to next level. So this was the first step. The next step is go ahead and learn it in the best way. So check out resources. There are a lot of resources on internet nowadays. You have a lot of YouTubers and a lot of learning portals where you can easily go pick up any course and you can learn about that skill. And so this is about the second step. Now, the third step is validate what you have learned and keep improving. So, like again, technology is very vast. It's not like that, okay, you can learn a particular tech stack in 8-hour course, 10-hour course, or a 8-month or 10-month course. Language keeps evolving, language and technology keeps evolving. So keep validating your skills. Now, how do you validate? Validating, but the best way to validate your skills is to make projects, go to contests, go to hackathons, make projects, or make something out of whatever you have learned, show them to others, take their feedback, and then make improvements and keep learning. So this entire technology, acing, the secret to acing tech is keep going. There's no end point to acing technology. It's just that you should be good at what you like, and like you should be continuously evolving. Now, this is something that is really generalized. If you want me to, talk something specific, that okay, how do we, learn a particular thing? So I think we can cover that in Q&A part if anyone wants to know about. But these three steps are the major, this is a kind of roadmap that one can follow to start learning a particular language and then keep. The next very important thing on the road to corporate is leveraging community. Now, we covered the first thing, we covered one aspect, which was acing tech. So that would actually cover that, okay, you are going to work on tech, so you have a good knowledge of tech. But another important aspect of corporate, getting into corporate, is your soft skills part, and that would come from community. So, leveraging community is the right way. Now, I said that I was a part of a lot of communities, and these were into different domains and were doing different kind of things. So, communities help you in a lot of ways. They give you a place, they give you a space to showcase yourself, showcase your ideas, and obviously, become a better version of yourself. Now, how could one leverage communities? So, firstly, it helps you to work on your soft skills. Soft skills are really crucial. I feel, the fact that my internship got converted to a full-time offer. So, yes, I did work, but I feel that my soft skills played a very important role. Like, there were people in my team who appreciated this, and they really found soft skills, like my nature, really different from what they had expected as an intern. So this is what I'm focusing, like the point that I want to convey is that soft skills play a very important role in corporate. Now these can be in the form of your communication skills, listening skills, body language, etc. And the thing is, there's no specific, you can't learn soft skills in a day or two. It's not like, it's not like technical technology. You can still say that, okay, I'll take a week, I'll learn this language, and I can code. I can learn to code. But in case of soft skills, it's not like that. Okay, I'll take a week and I'll learn soft skills, and I'll be the best version. Soft skills is something that comes over the period of time, and that's where comes the importance of community. So join communities. These could be something parallel to your interest. Again, the same thing, that find what you love the most, find a community which does that work, and join it. Second way of leveraging the communities is network with people. Now, okay, if it's your college community, it might happen that the people present in that community or that club are your college mates, like your classmates, or someone from a different year, or someone from a different branch. That is also beneficial. This way, you get to know about other people of your college. Another thing, when you are in communities which are outside your college, like some mentorship community or some random community, that is when you get to network with people who are in a completely different environment as you are. And networking works in a lot of ways. Like I remember I went in a lot of hackathons and ideathons in my first year, and I used to, like, just interact with people from other teams. I used to interact with the jury members. I remember there was one hackathon where uh, I got in touch with one of the jury members, and we are still connected. We still discuss ideas, and it has definitely been a great experience. So, and you never know that networking can even help you get referrals, or get into job opportunities at a later stage. So do network with people whenever you get a chance to do so. Third is evolve into a leader. So now this is something that a lot of people feel that why do I have to be a leader? I do not have to manage people. I want to be an engineer. So why do I have to be leader? But leaders. What do you say? Leadership is not just about leading a team of people or guiding people. It's actually a kind of mindset that you have. So, and leadership mindset is actually a mindset that makes you more responsible, that makes you a bit flexible to uh, get accustomed or get to work with people. So leadership skills are again very important. And I would say in the field of software engineering, you definitely need leadership skills, because let's say you have an idea and you want to uh, you want to just reach out to your director or reach out to your manager and tell them that, oh, I have this idea. Now, if you have you have these leadership skills, or you have those good amount of soft skills, you would not hesitate to at least, speak up about your idea. You would feel that, okay, I can, gather a team. I could gather maybe 3 or 4 colleagues, work with them, and even, turn that and present that idea to uh, your the people of higher authorities in your company or in your organization. So leadership skills work a lot. And like I would say that, these are three benefits, not just benefits, but three ways by which you can, make the most out of communities and obviously learn. So this was a bit about communities. Now moving to, a really fun part, which has a very close relation with my journey. So, what makes one an entrepreneur? So, before I'll just go back to the previous slide. Um how many of you, uh, have ideas and want to be entrepreneurs? Anyone in the chat? Yes, no, or just raising your hand. Do you have an ideas and you want to be entrepreneur? Or it's okay if you do not know what an entrepreneur. No responses. Okay. Shruti wants to explore the field. No worries. I think a lot of people have confused the word entrepreneur. Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah. I feel a lot of you have confused the word entrepreneur with setting up businesses uh, and startup. So yes, a part of entrepreneur, uh, a part of entrepreneurship is to set up businesses and earn money. But there is a lot more when it comes to entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is not just about, setting up businesses. Anyone can be an entrepreneur. It need not be a multimillionaire business idea. It can be anything in the world. So, and there are actually a lot of things. Personal brand, the importance of personal, one who, it can be anything. A person who creates a personal brand. Let's say there's a girl who loves to draw, like draw and paint. So she can be an entrepreneur. She can, turn her talent and create a brand for herself that, okay, she's an artist. So that could be, and so she is an entrepreneur. Another example could be, let's say someone likes to preach people or likes to help people. So even she could be an entrepreneur. So entrepreneur is not always a business idea. Entrepreneur is more of a mindset, I would say. And this mindset is always is around. being innovative, and being open to work. So, entrepreneurship, like innovation plays a huge role in entrepreneurship. So, innovation is like, it could be anything. Like, let's say, if I talk about techies, so techies have this huge, even like when you go to hackathon, you are entrepreneurs already because you're working on ideas, you're working on innovative solutions, you're creating things. So, entrepreneur is not just a business idea, it could be any innovation, and it could be something out of the box or something different that you are. Now, what makes one an entrepreneur? So, I previously said that entrepreneurship is actually a mindset where you like to innovate things, where you like to innovate and create new things. So, here, like, I would like to talk a bit about my entrepreneurship journey. So, I am actually the founder of UAcelt. Now, UAcelt is again like, we started as a community, and later on we felt that we should, convert this to a startup and reach out to, and create an impact on a greater amount of people. So, if I talk about my entrepreneurship journey, so again, I was fortunate that I found a team, like three more people who were kind of similar as me, and four of us had this knack of creating an impact on the peer group. Like, what we found is that students tend to learn more when they hear from a person who is of their age group. Like, uh, if given, like if I take my case, and if I have two courses in front of me, a course who is made by the person who is super experienced, uh, and is and I have no way to reach out to that person or to clear my doubts, and uh, that course versus a course who has been which has been made by a person who is of my age, who is experienced, again, who is equally experienced in that particular tech stack or that particular field. So, if I compare both these, and in the case where the person is from my peer group, I like that person would be accessible to. So, if I compare both these cases, though I like anyone would prefer choosing a course which is made by a person of their peer group who is obviously an expert and accessible. So the point which I'm trying to make over here is that uh, the product is actually like, we really wanted to make education accessible for everyone, accessible and easy. So, like, it's not just people learning different things, but learning from people whom they can access or easily reach out to in case of any query. So this was the purpose. This was, the mindset we had in the beginning. We started this off as a community. We just, collected a group of people, made them teach their peers, and eventually we found that we could monetize things and turn this to a different, and turn this to a startup, so that it so that we can reach out to a greater audience and impact more people. And we were lucky enough to find an incubation center that guided us and even helped us with some amount of mentorship and funding, although that's a completely different story. But then overall, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you you need to innovate constantly. And another thing is that you need to be consistent with what you're doing. Consistent as in, like, you should be close to that motive behind the product that you have. Plus, you should stick to that entirely, and you should do your work constantly, not leave that. So let's not go very deeper into my startup or anything. Coming back to what makes one an entrepreneur, so there are the key points are: keep innovating, and stick to the cause you want to present or give to people. So, so this was about road to corporate, like acing tech, leveraging communities, and like entrepreneurship is slightly off topic. Like, it's not necessary to be an entrepreneur to get into corporate. It's just that when you have this entrepreneurship mindset, you're constantly innovating, constantly, you know, evolving, and you get into a mindset where you want to create an impact on others. And this is a quality which is required by a lot of companies in corporate. Like this is what, even people companies look for when they hire people. They want people who can not just sit and code, but they even look for people who can create new things, innovate, or even come up with new ideas. So entrepreneurship mindset also plays a very important role when it comes to getting into corporate. So these were the three things which I had from my side. Now I'm open for questions. I am even open to sharing my interview experiences or my journey if anyone wants to, if you want me to get it. So any questions, you can, simply unmute yourself. You can even write in the chat box.
Guys, now we are open for questions. Can you guys please give us your questions in the chat box?
Or if someone is really shy to, shy, not just shy, but if you don't want to spend time on typing on questions, you can simply unmute yourself and come up. With the internship for second years be starting, can you drop some tips for the same? Okay, so if I talk about internship, okay, so do you want me to focus on the hiring part, or like you have an intern and making the most?
I guess the more of the hiring part.
Oh, preparation. Okay. Let me stop sharing my screen and come back to the hmm. So, like, yeah, I remember there were a lot of people who were in their second year, right? So, okay. Now, when you talk about internship hiring, so if I talk about most of the companies, um, so what most of the companies look for is your problem solving skill. And to be honest, these problem solving skills, so to check your problem solving skills, they check whether you have good knowledge of data structures. Okay, so data structures and as well as your computer fundamentals, because they are going to be like most of the companies. You guys have said that most we have students from engineering backgrounds. So people have so like you'll probably be sitting for software engineering boards. So in this case, keep your focus on data structures and algorithms along with your computer fundamentals. Now, in data structures, you can again pick up any language of your choice. I would recommend choose one of C++ or Java. Some people do use Python also, but I feel a lot of companies do not prefer people, giving interviews with Python at least. Okay, so try picking up one language between C++ or Java. Work on your data structures, like knowledge of data structures, brush them up, because every company, the first round of every company is an online test, and you need data structures to get through that round. Once you clear the online round, you have the interviews. Now these interviews are focused on your, again, data structures, your problem solving skills, your computer fundamentals, and your soft skills. Here's when the role of soft skills comes. So they're not going to say that, how are you good with speaking? They're going to test your soft skills while you give your interviews, while you're speaking, etc. So soft skills is something that, okay, you need to, do side by side, join communities and keep working on those parts. But for interviews, I think I've answered this, that work on your DSA, work on your computer fundamentals, and obviously, get read well about the company for which you are, applying for or appearing for. So I think I've answered this thing. Next is my interview journey. Okay, so if I talk about my interview journey, so like before I got a interview call from Adobe, I did give a lot of different interviews and different interviews, like interviews of different companies. So one major thing that a tip for interview that I found, like, which I lacked in initial stages, and I found that thing. So first thing is that keep interacting with your interviewer constantly. Like interacting as in not just hi hello thing, but let's say interviewer has given you a problem and you have to solve it. So try and explain like whatever is going in your mind. Because obviously when you're given a problem back at the back of your mind, you are constantly thinking that okay, this is the problem and this is how and I can solve it, and ultimately you come to a solution. So try and explain this approach, whatever, keep interact and keep conveying whatever is going in your mind to your interview. So this is the first thing, like keep interacting and keep telling about all that is going on in your mind. Second thing is that obviously your skills matter. It's not like you would say incorrect things and you will clear the interview. So work well on your skills. Don't compromise on learning part. And another thing I'll say is comes back to what content you're speaking. It might happen. There are actually a lot of things. A very crucial part of an interview is your introduction. So make sure that you have a proper introduction and you say it properly. You give a proper introduction, and even the end part is really crucial, where the interviewer asks you about, do you have any questions? So be prepared. That's why I said that, read about the company so that if you do not have anything extra to ask and you do not get anything in mind, simply ask a question, how are you trying to do this particular thing? So this really works. So like, these are the three things which I kind of, these were the three takeaways that I have from my failures in interview and which ultimately helped me to land it so well. Uh, can you explain your preparation strategy? Okay, so preparation, I've already mentioned that what are essential for an interview. So again, brush up your DSA skills, um, revise computer subjects, work on your resume. Resume is again a very important part. Although in on-campus opportunities, there is no, like, a very few companies shortlist candidates on the basis of their resume. In most of the cases, it is their online assessment. But when you go for off-campus opportunities, resume plays a very important role. So look for proper templates. There are a lot of websites, Nova Resume, Overleaf. Just find a good template and make a good resume. And another thing I would say is um, soft skills. Fourth thing is soft skills. So these are the four major things which one should focus on while preparing for internship drives or in general any interview. Hiring part. Okay. Can you please tell how do you manage different things together? Okay. So the very first thing, so like, yes, I would say that in my first year, I was a part of a lot of communities. Again, because like first year, I really wanted to explore what I really like. So I did join, and I would say the secret of managing different things is not to procrastinate. Make a proper schedule. Try to give, and when you're making a schedule of allotting time, keep in mind the priority of the tasks you want. And this can be like prioritizing tasks depends on a lot of things. Like if your target is, like, let's say you are part of two communities and side by side you have to handle your college curriculum as well as your interview preparation in terms for the, like, preparing for internship drive. So divide your day into prioritize things, and then go ahead and divide your day. Make a proper timetable that okay, I would give, if not a timetable, give yourself, give targets that okay, I would um, practice, I would revise this particular topic today, and I would spend almost 1 hour of a day in this. So do not procrastinate and make a proper schedule, and that will help you sail through multiple things. And one more thing, like if you really feel that you are a part of community or you're doing something which is not really helping you, so it's okay. You can try to back out from that part or try to leave that, because there's no point of doing multiple things and getting burdened at the end of the day. That is not going to help you out. Don't do multiple things if you feel that they're burdening you, or you're not able to focus on the thing which is at utmost priority. Prioritize things. Try to do a lot of things if your mind and body allows you, and obviously don't compromise your health, because if your health fails, or if you if your health goes down, then there won't be you won't be able to focus on other things, and you won't be able to do things properly. So that thing, yeah, if you could elaborate preparation strategies. Yeah.
I
But
think somebody asked about projects that they can add in their own second years. So
I was just coming my project. Oh, just a minute. There's a question: how to prepare for placement in 6 months from scratch. You can still do this. 6 months is definitely a huge time. When a huge time, you still have time. So if you just have 6 months in your hand, again, don't waste a lot of time in exploring the language which you like the most. If you feel if you just have 6 months left, I'm sure you would be knowing which language you could code into. If you just have 6 months, I would say go take up a course, because yeah, there's no harm in having a self-paced learning. But when you have less, when you join a course or enroll in a course, you have a proper timeline, and when you have a proper timeline, then you work on that pace. So a proper timeline can definitely help you work well and be productive. So you can do that. And if you have lesser time left, again, make a timetable, give yourself daily targets that, okay, this topic should be completed in another 2 days, and then another topic will be completed in another 5 days, etc. But when you have less time, don't waste your time in planning out things. Don't do that. Spend very minimum amount of time in planning. Don't waste your time like, okay, you spend 1 or 2 hours planning your entire day. If you're doing that, you're not doing the right thing. So spend very little amount of planning, very little amount of time in planning out things, rather spend time in executing. Next is in third sem, if we don't have amazing projects, then what to add? Oh, don't have amazing projects. Um, okay, so Nico, don't segregate projects this way. If you're putting up a project in your resume, make sure you highlight what you did in that project and what you have learned from it. If you feel that you have learned something great from that project, or if not learned something great, you have simply, implemented something good, consider adding it to your resume or your profile. There's no harm in, adding something even if you have learned something from that. And if it, if your definition of an amazing project is, a project that uh, have high have good tech stacks, so it's okay if you do not have them at the moment. Don't worry, you have 2 or 3 years of your college life left. You can still explore technologies, learn new technologies, make projects and add them to your CV. But if you do not have any very good projects, uh, it's okay, you can still mention them, but do highlight what you have learned or what you have implemented. That should be, that would help the reviewer get to know that, okay, even though it's not a very good project, but you learned something great. Next is, what should be the roadmap and checklist as second year student to make to the corporate world? As a second year student, roadmap, okay, brush up your computer fundamentals, uh, make a good profile. Now, make a good profile means making a proper resume. And when I talk about resume, so it's like, don't just work on your, don't just work on your DSA part, but even explore other things like, development, something in the field of development. Again, pick up anything of your choice. Again, the same, those three steps which I mentioned, anything, pick up a new tech stack that you would love to or you like in some way, learn that, and then validate your skills. So you can do this thing. And the third thing, which would not come at the third step, keep evolving. By the way, soft skills is something that has to go side by side. And yeah, but this is not actually a roadmap. This is kind of checklist. Like these are the three major things that you definitely need to get it confident. So just repeating those 3 points. Uh, Computer fundamentals, which is very close to like computer fundamentals, problem solving abilities. Second is your profile. Now this could be your resume, your some other profile, and lastly is your soft skills or people skills or your ability to interact with. Share resources for CS fundamentals. Okay, so GFG Geeks for Geeks is a very good website. You can get a lot of resources for almost all the subjects. Apart from that, there is even a website called this is for Geeks for Geeks has a lot of content around DBMS, operating systems, and what was the first subject? Oops. There's specific books where you can even refer, like for Oops, Bala Guruswamy is a very good book. For OS, there's a book by the author Galvin that you can refer to. And for DBMS, am not remembering the exact, but that was something Schuler or something. There's a really good book by this author. But you can always refer Geeks for Geeks. Geeks for Geeks has very good content. There's even Java Tea Point that you can refer, and there's even Techie Delight. Techie Delight has good number of blogs that you can refer to for learning certain subjects. For coding practice, you can use Lead Code or HackerRank or even Interview Bit if you want to be very specific to your preparation. What is the next question? I think I lost this. Shruti, what is the next question?
Yeah, so I think somebody's asking about how to, not lose confidence in your entrepreneurship ideas.
Okay, so this is something which I and my team had this at initial stage. We weren't really sure if our idea would really work and would people really you know use that product in some ways. So a very good way to do this is whatever you feel, whatever your idea is, implement it and bring it to bring it outside. Once you have your product outside, take it to some people, like take it to 10 or 20 people, get it validated and make improvements. And once this is done, and keep evolving. Evolving and feedbacks is something that will keep you motivated throughout, and you won't feel like leave doing that particular, like leave working on that particular product or that community. So yeah, like these are the two things that can keep you motivated. Keep taking feedback, even if you feel that this is not a very good idea. It's okay. Just walk up to people, tell them about what you are doing or what you want to do, take their feedback and make changes. Because even if out of 10 feedbacks, even if out of 10 there are two good feedbacks, that is definitely going to boost your confidence, and it will give you it's going to give you that motivation that okay, let's bring it to life. At least two people are going to use that. So keep taking feedbacks and keep evolving.
Yeah, I guess somebody's asking that they want to launch their own brand, but they don't know where to start. They don't have any mentor who can guide me. So, what is to be done in that case? Where do we even start?
Okay, I want to okay, find a group of people first. In my case, I uh, like okay, find a group of people. It can be your friends, it can be people who are not your friends. Find a group of people. Okay. Then again, bring that idea, formulate that idea and make a prototype or something. If not the entire website, like just an example, but then try to bring that idea, like give life to that idea in some way. And in that case, and for mentor thing, you can try and approach incubation centers. If you do not have an incubation center in your college, then look for incubation centers. There are a lot of centers in IITs and NITs that open their applications. Go ahead, apply in them, and they even guide people. It's not like if I talk about incubation center of our college, like IGDTUW has an incubation center, and they welcome ideas from all across the country. So it's not like incubation center of your college is only going to help people of that particular college. So again, repeating those points, find a team, create a simple product, not create, but then give life to that idea, apply in incubation centers or similar programs. From that, you'll get mentored, and it might happen that your idea gets funded and you get a good audience to show that create an impact. So that's how you can go about.
Right, and since you are doing so much, so how to balance college with the work life thing and with the passion, and also try to have a social life with all of that.
Okay, so I would say uh, creating a balance between passion and all these things is that firstly, do not procrastinate, have a proper schedule for the day, and enjoy the process. Like I would say, there were times when I even enjoyed learning in attending college classes. Although this sounds really weird, that how could one enjoy learning in attending college lectures, but enjoy the entire process. Once you enjoy the entire process, you won't feel this as a burden. Now enjoying doesn't mean that you're just having fun. Enjoy as in get happy with the smallest of achievements that you have in a day. In my case, I even used to do that. I used to have a proper schedule that okay, uh, 5 hours college lectures, like back when we used to go to colleges physically. So there was no backing out that okay, I'll leave college or somewhere. So okay, 5 hours for college, then 1 or 2 hours on the startup that we have, 1 or 2 hours for the community work that I'm a part of, and then 1 or 2 hours for personal studies. That okay, even I want to learn to code, or extra thing that I want to learn, and rest of the day I'm just roaming it. So this is just an idea. This was not the exact plan that I had. And I the days when I used to cover all those things, I used to get happy about them, and I used to give myself a toffee. So whether it's like enjoy the process, and uh, keep appreciating yourself, that okay, even if you have done the smallest thing, go ahead, appreciate, because it's very rare that a person would walk up to you and would appreciate you for what you're doing. If you can't appreciate yourself, it would get difficult for others to do. So, uh, repeating those points, do not procrastinate, have plan your day. Then, what was the point? I think I messed up. Huh. Um, appreciate what you're doing and enjoy the. And like even like in my case, I was part of the communities. Um, Only like those were the communities which I really loved. Like I really uh, was passionate about what they're doing. So that made me work for them automatically. I didn't push myself that, oh, I have to do this work. And so that the kind of work I used to do was something that I really enjoyed. So it did really seem like, that I'm working for a community. It always seemed that I'm doing something that I'm like. And that's why I never felt that, I'm getting burdened. If I used to feel burdened, I either used to, take a break from the kind of work I'm doing for a few days maybe. And if I used to feel that I'm just getting burdened and the work is not benefiting me, I used to end up leaving that community. So you can even do that. Like if you feel that you are just getting burdened and you're not learning things in any way, you can even, give it an opinion, give it not just an opinion, give it a thought that you can, what if you leave the community? What would you lose and what would you learn if you're there? You could do that.
Okay, so I think this will be the last question that we'll be taking up today. So, सब कुछ हो गया, आपने पढ़ाई कर ली, इंटरव्यू दे दिया, you've got an Adobe. So now, what is the work-life balance at Adobe like? What is it like?
Okay, so if I go on talking about Adobe, I will not stop. That is my, love for the company. But if I talk about Adobe, Adobe has, a pretty good, like it cares a lot about its employees and the life and the work culture of Adobe is really good. Like during my internship, there were no fixed hours there's no fixed 9 to 5 hours or some random hours. It's just that you have to complete your work, what you've been told to. And this statement itself means a lot. Like for a person who is working and you're just being asked that okay, it's important for you to complete your work, and it's not like you have to keep working even if the work is done. So work life balance is pretty good at Adobe. Plus there are a lot of perks that you have when you join as an employee. Adobe helps you in gives you a lot of wellness reimbursements. So they really want their employees to stay fit and work on uh, like there are people who can not people like we can purchase equipments, fitness equipment or anything, and get those reimbursed. Adobe even I won't say forces, but then they really want their employees to, learn more and get educated. So they even give us educational reimbursement. So one can, easily go out and learn a particular, like take a skill, take up a course, and learn a skill, and the company would reimburse the, expenses into that. And there are a lot more things like if I talk about the campus itself, like campus as in the Adobe office. So that is a very beautiful office that they have. And like obviously like it just adds on to, the benefits the employees get. But then like these are, the three major attractions of Adobe's culture that the people are really open to talk. And yeah, one more, really great thing that every person in the company is innovating, you know and they even make others innovate. Now innovating is not just opening up startups or something. Innovating as in um, uh, like they are really open to listen up to new ideas. It's not like they're just going that okay, we have done something, like something was done 5 years back and they're still continuing. This is something I really found the culture of Adobe to be really open to talk. People are very open to talk, like they listen to others, and uh, they even listen to your ideas and give them right platforms. So it might happen that an idea of a random employee got converted to an actual feature of a random Adobe product. So Adobe is really open in these terms, and obviously like the benefits you have as an employee are really good. So that makes Adobe a dream company for a lot of people. Even it was a dream company for me, and I'm really happy to have landed.
That is really, that's so amazing. And just the passion we see in you throughout this session was that was really, really nice. And thank you so much for having this really informative session for us. And thank you for being here for the first ever session of Cognito. And
You
thank
should,
you for
and
being
it's great to be here. And I'm really happy that the audience, like people in an audience, were really, interacting over chat. Although, like if I look at the number of people present, who the ones who were interacting, it's not like the ratio isn't good, but it's definitely good after so long. We find people. So kudos to your entire team, and wish you, all the best for the session. And all the best to everyone for, whatever you're preparing. It doesn't matter which year you are in, but you know what lies ahead of you, and all the
Thank you so much. And with that, I think we're at the end of the session. Thank you, Dee, for being here, and thank you guys for attending the session. And can like the team members please turn on their cameras? We can have a picture.
Yes. Hello. Okay, now.
Hi Dee, it was an amazing session.
Thank you. And kudos to your team for bringing about, this is also a new community. Again, entrepreneurship mindset. It's gonna take you, a long way. There's a long way ahead. Other members, I just see two members of the
We request everyone to please open their cameras so that we can have a screenshot. Meanwhile, if the event management team could post the feedback form in the chat, attendance form.
Yeah, sure.
I think that will be all. Uh, Thank you, Dee, for being here, and thank you the whole team for making this event a success. And thank you guys for joining in. And hope to see you guys in the next session that we'll have. So,
Guys, please fill this feedback form in the chat box.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, and thank you, Shruti, for inviting me. I know, I put, I gave you a lot of conditions and a lot of changes, but your entire team, stick to all that I said. And there was a point where I also felt that why am I putting so many foundations to what they're doing? But then those
no
were the
problem, Dee.
okay, then
Totally.
thank you. I would want to just have a meeting with the entire team. Just generally talk to you all. So
Yeah,
if
sure.
I could
I'll
have that, I am okay. I can wait for other people to leave, or we can have another meeting later. But just I want to interact with you.
Shruti adores you so much. She was so excited when we were preparing for this session. Like, दीदी को तो बुलाना ही है, दीदी को तो बुलाना ही है.
Didi gave me my first unicorn mug and अब वही मेरा घर का mug है जिसमें मैं सब कुछ पीती हूँ. So yeah,
Okay.
I'll just share another link for the yeah.
Meanwhile, guys, please fill the attendance form. आप लोग आए हो तो अब attendance भी लेकर ही जाओ.
How
I have
many
sent the
members?
new link. I have sent the new link for the new meeting to you also, the and to the team also. So we may join the other meeting. So
Okay, I'm leaving this one. You want to take your time. You can, you guys can cover up this feedback wala thing and then join that.
oh yeah.
Okay. We are so good.